Alright, here we begin our first video for Louisiana. In chapter 1, we're going to go through 4 sections and we'll concentrate on looking at Louisiana's culture. So here we begin with an image here that probably looks very familiar to most of us. In the picture, you can see geographical location, New Orleans. And what we have here is a scene from Mardi Gras. There's a story that the chapter starts out with that puts cultural diffusion into perspective. And let's read through this. So we're going to be introduced to a fictional character named Allison. It says, when Allison moved from Tucson, Arizona to Baton Rouge, she left behind the brown desert she knew and came to the lush green landscape of Louisiana. As she traveled with her family across the Atchafalaya Basin on Interstate 10, she was amazed at all the water under the raised highway. She looked out the window, watching for alligators, because before she had left Arizona, her friends had teased her by saying her poodle would be eaten by the alligators in her new backyard. Baton Rouge was like Tucson in many ways. Allison spotted familiar fast food restaurants, several multi-screen movie complexes, and a large mall just a few blocks from her new home. But she also noticed differences. The family's new house looked like an Acadian cottage instead of a Spanish adobe casa. Their Arizona yard had cactus and rocks, but blooming azaleas surrounded her new house. Snack counters of Baton Rouge gas station sold Cajun boudin instead of the cinnamon churro she ate in Arizona. At her new middle school, Allison discovered that she would study Louisiana in her social studies class. At the open house, Allison's teacher offered her parents a copy of the newest state tour guide. She showed them the festival calendar and suggested that they might enjoy seeing Louisiana this way. Allison's class project became her visit to the festivals. After a year in Louisiana, she had seen much of the new state. She had a huge collection of festival t-shirts and had even learned to eat boiled crawfish. Allison had learned much about her new home and its culture. She continued a long tradition of cultural diffusion, the spreading of one's own culture, when she invited her classmates to a party where she served her favorite Arizona foods along with some of her new Louisiana favorites. So in the image above, you see a wonderful picture here of Mardi Gras. The note here says this is from 2006, just several years after Katrina. I'm sorry, just 1 year after Katrina. Hurricane Katrina was in 2005. Now, looking here at cultural diffusion, you have a character here, Allison, who is used to more of a Native American / Spanish culture. And when she comes to Louisiana, she discovers more of a French, Spanish, and also English culture. Now, predominantly, you have this right here. And cultural diffusion, she took what she knew, and when she came here, she combined it with what was here, and in her own way, she participated in something that happens throughout communities all over the world, cultural diffusion. It's a mixing of one's own culture with a surrounding culture where one goes to. This is the first step before we start actually section 1. What you're going to do now, you'll see in the quest a word list, this word list right here, and you will need to put it in the following categories.
Einstein, James Dean.